CGS Helios QD TI. But before we get into that, people, Jake, tell the people what they need to know.
One, we suggest that you enjoy this evening programming with a nice drink. And today we are featuring a bourbon that's very popular. It's called Woodinville.
Okay.
And it's very popular, and I was very excited about it, partially because the packaging is so damn good, and a bit of a letdown for me.
Really?
Can
I have a sip?
No, you should not. This is a sober set, everyone.
Oh, damn. Just kidding, guys.
But this was a little bit, very popular. According to most people, you should buy this. I just happen to not be one of those people.
So it's not really a recommendation. Some people might recommend it. Jake doesn't. That's what we're going with.
I'm going to give you the
Would
real
you
deal.
agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where I'm at.
Cool. What else do we got, Jake? We got some sponsors for this channel.
Yeah, main one we're going to plug is ourselves, 1911syndicate.com, linked below. We're a real estate business. I can already tell you, spoiler alert, you're not going to buy a land where you're going to shoot on. If you're thinking about moving out of a state because like they're about to like change one like minor gun law or something, and you're like, I'm going to relocate. Like, no, you're not. So everyone fucking chill on that. But if you need to like buy or sell like normal houses, let us know. Patreon, if you're feeling generous. Beyond that, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Oh, I guess last one. All the ammo I shot for this review was from US Brass House.
Cool.
I want to thank you guys. Use our 2 codes to save some cash on some ammo.
Yep.
9mm, 5.56, 12 gauge. So good guys. We really appreciate your support. And with that, I think that's it.
Let's rock and roll.
Cool. So Jake, we have talked about and reviewed multiple CGS products now.
Yes.
And in fact, this will be the 3rd version of this can that we've reviewed.
That's true.
Okay. Yeah. So our first experience with CGS was that can right there, which is the Helios QD standard, is what I call it.
Yeah.
And that's made out of Inconel.
Yep.
Basically rocket ship material, super robust. Put it on, I don't know, anything you want from 5.56 to 30 cal stuff and just shoot the shit out of it.
Yeah, they were made originally for saws.
Correct, yeah, to suppress belt-fed weapons.
Yep.
Okay. The next can we did was the Helios direct thread. And that was on my Knight's Armament video.
Yes.
So I direct threaded that can onto a 16-inch Knight's rifle. I've just been running that on that gun since I got it. It's done phenomenal. And then this guy. So this is our Helios QD TI. Now, the specs on this are almost identical to that one, okay? And they're very similar to the DT. There's minor nuance changes. When you get the direct thread, it's going to change weight a little bit.
Sure.
Okay? Even with, these QD ones come with a bunch of adapters, vented end cap, solid end cap.
Direct thread inserts.
Direct thread, 1/2x28, all that different stuff. So just the standard direct thread where you can't change inserts is going to weigh a little bit different. It's going to be a little bit lighter.
Cheaper too.
A little bit
because
cheaper
it doesn't
too.
come with all the other stuff.
Exactly right. So, so if you're tired of hearing about these cans, well, sorry, I'm not sorry, because this is the 3rd version of it technically.
He's not sorry, everyone.
So I'm not sorry. Sorry, I'm not sorry, guys. We, have a friendship, I guess, with CGS. But we tell them, and
it didn't start out that way, though.
Didn't start out that way.
Not that we were enemies. That makes it sound like we're like mortal enemies or something.
Guys. No,
but no, I'm just saying, I got a couple CGS suppressors. I just bought them, like I don't even remember where I bought them from. Wasn't from CGS directly.
Silencer shop. So they have become, since that first one, friends. And the greatest thing with Bobby over there, who owns CGS, is, hey, we're going to give our honest opinion on everything that we do. And Bobby, some companies might take that in a bad light. They don't. They're like, cool, tell us what we can do better. Let us know what we can do. And we want your honest feedback. Now, we are guys that play dress up in the desert, so our feedback kind of means jack and shit. But, they still appreciate honest feedback.
On a tactics level, it means jack shit. Feedback's feedback. We shoot a lot.
Yes, I'll give you that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. So this can, and I got to read this, kind of word for word here because I don't want to mess it up for you guys. So that can, without any attachments on it, yours, weighs 19 ounces.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. The direct thread model, which is on my Knights, weighs 10.2 ounces.
Boy, that's a big difference.
Big difference. This model with no adapters on it weighs 9 ounces.
Whew.
If you put in the direct thread adapter on this, it comes in at 11.5 ounces. There's more material for that. The way it's machined, it's not integrated into it. That's why the standard direct thread weighs a little bit less. The QD with the direct thread insert weighs a little bit more. The current configuration I have it in is with their adapter collar. So here's the can, adapter collar, dead air chemo.
Yep.
So the reason why we have to do this is we need added length to put over the muzzle, to put this over the muzzle device.
Look, we all need added length.
We all need added length and girth, 1.75 inches in diameter to be exact.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Yeah, what was that?
Come on,
we'll
dog.
get to that.
Come on, dog.
We'll get to that.
Don't try to flex.
I'm 6'4", homie. So, with this setup, with the collar and the chemo, this weighs in between 14.5 and 15 ounces. So, you're adding a significant, 3/4 of the weight of the can just with the mounting system. Reason why I'm bringing that up is because people want length in a lot of areas in life. When it comes to cans, they don't.
Sure.
Because people think added length equals added
sound suppression? I don't know.
Weight.
Oh.
Weight. Because that's what, one of the concerns that people have when you get a longer can on a full length gun is the weight on the end of the barrel.
Yeah, front heavy.
Yep,
Sure.
makes it front heavy and less wieldable. That's where this shines.
Yeah.
I've run this only on a Militia Works rifle, which is 16-inch barrel. This rifle here, which is a Type A 13.7 pinned and welded with a dead air muzzle vise to make it 16. And for me, the standard can makes those guns a little too front heavy, especially with a full length barrel.
Especially depending on what kind of optic you have on it too. Because when I had an heavy LPVO and mount back here, this gun was heavy but balanced. And now that I'm just running like essentially a red dot on it.
Feels front heavy.
Yeah, it's definitely front heavy now.
Yeah. So for me, running a full length gun, this can really shines and not making it too front heavy.
Okay.
Every time that I take a friend out or, buddy, whoever, and they pick up this gun with this can on it, they're like, holy hell, that gun is very well balanced.
Yeah.
Because they're expecting it just by looking at it for the gun to be super front heavy.
Yeah. And
then I break it down for them that this is, let me get to that, made out of, instead of Inconel, it is 6AL 4V grade 5 titanium.
Of course.
Huge fan of that.
Advocated for years.
I think Bobby actually got that idea probably from you, to be completely honest.
I wasn't going to take credit for it, but if he wants to send me credit. Sure.
So the reason why this video is, we kind of felt the need to do it or wanted to do it, is it's just another option on CGS products that you can really fine tune a rifle build to be balanced, good weight, not overly heavy, and still have a great suppressor. Now, CGS shines with a couple things, not only the weight reduction, but this is a 30 cal bore. And it's tapered actually to 0.36. Reason why that's important is this end cap is a 30 cal end cap. These cans, because of the way they're machined and they have certain channels inside, help reduce blowback, which you being a lefty is a big thing for you.
I suck a lot of gas.
Me being a righty, it doesn't bother me as much, but the 30 cal end cap and tapered baffles in here allow for a lot of extra pressure and shit to go out the front of the can instead of cycling through the can back into the weapon system.
Right.
So I then took it a step further and threw it on this gun that has a superlative arms adjustable gas block and tuned the gun for this can.
Yeah.
So very low back pressure, not a lot of gas that you're sucking down.
Yep.
And that 30 cal end cap just vents a lot of the bullshit that comes with shooting, which is pretty cool. I asked Bobby, at what point does someone need to send this can back to you to be cleaned or maintenance, Because I've heard of you can lead out a can, meaning...
Yeah, for sure you can.
Yeah. If you shoot a can or a suppressor long enough, you're going to add so much crud in between the baffles that it'll weigh down the can.
No doubt, yeah.
He said it is virtually impossible with these for multiple reasons, okay? The tapered bores and tapered baffles. They also have a coating on all the internal of the can that stops any of that crud from shooting from settling in the can. It all gets blown out. And I said, no, Bobby, come on. Like, I know you can let out cans. He's like, dude, our cans don't get leaded out. He's like, trust me, saw. Like, we don't let out cans because of the coating. Now, obviously, over time, things could happen. But he's like, your average shooter is never going to let out one of these cans.
Cool.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
Some of the, I guess, cons people have with titanium is they spark.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Do you know why they spark?
I mean, I know essentially you degrade the titanium over time, and like you're literally shooting out like little chunks of titanium.
Correct.
I think is the idea.
Yeah. Yep. And titanium is what is used in fireworks to make the bright white sparks.
Oh.
So that's what you're getting.
Okay.
So basically what happens is as you shoot this can and things start to degrade and erode over time, little flecks of that titanium get shot out the front, they ignite like a firework, cause the flashing. Okay?
Yeah.
Reason why I bring that up is because that is people's #1 complaint with titanium cans. And like, I don't know, it just seems like a non-issue to me. Like if I were kicking indoors overseas and I had to do super secret squirrel stuff.
With nods.
With nods. It might be an issue. I have shot this can under nods, good nods, PVS 15s and 31s. It's a non-issue for me. I see a little bit of sparking, but like, it's not that big of a deal.
Not like I can't see what I'm shooting at, like, blinded by the light.
Because people make it that way, and it's like, dude, you're like shooting on the range. The sparks are really a negligible argument, in my opinion. The second con that people have, not me, and I'll explain why, with titanium cans is if they get too hot, it degrades the titanium. So me and Bobby talked about this kind of at length. To start degrading this titanium, it needs to be sustained from 800 to 900 degrees for a prolonged period of time. He said most people are never going to do that. If you're mag dumping full auto on the range, okay, you can see an argument for it. And this is a full auto rated titanium can.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Which is pretty wild.
Yeah.
But, you know, we shoot a lot, man. A lot. And I've asked Bobby, I'm like, you know, we put a decent amount of rounds. Like the other day I dropped, you know, I did a drill or I was just mag dumping just to have fun and did like 2 to 3 mags full. And he's like, yeah, it's not going to stay hot enough long enough to do anything to that can.
Cool.
So those cons are kind of what people have with titanium cans. Excuse me. And I really think it's a non-issue.
One of the things people can bitch about with that can is that it's expensive.
Yes.
Because it is expensive.
Do you know how much?
I think it's like 16, 17.
You got it, $16.50.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you got to call apples apples. You know, it's like, yeah, it's an expensive suppressor. Obviously, part of it's the titanium, but then it's everything else that's coming with it.
Yep.
So it's like, yeah, like what do you want me to tell you? Sure, yeah, it's an expensive can.
It's an expensive can.
Yeah.
I could understand why that price would be an issue. My argument to this is if you're in the house or the wheelhouse of getting one can for kind of all your stuff.
It'd be good because you could direct thread it and you could QD it with quite a few different industry QDs. That's
exactly it. On their website, I was going to put it in my own words, but I'm going to say it in theirs. The QD TI Helios system was designed to be extremely versatile. And that's where this can shines. Extremely versatile. 5.56, 30 cal, different barrel lengths. The minimum barrel length on this is 10 inches.
Okay.
Okay. So it's still going to run on a 10.3 gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonder if you could run it, find out the answer easily, if you could run that on like a 7-inch 300 blackout.
Oh, I'm sure.
I would imagine you could just because the pressures are just going to be different.
Subs and everything.
Yeah.
Now it is rated all the way up to 300 normal mag.
Yeah.
So if you're a precision hunter, but you want a can to run on your 5.56, and again, we did a whole video on DT versus QD. Just go with me on this, guys. We're talking about QD right now because I'm a fan of DT.
Yeah.
You get both with this though. So for me, this can shines in that exact regard. Like, hey, I just want to buy one can and go through the process once. But I really do want a can that's going to go from my bolt gun to my AR to my shorty to, you know, a Magnum 300 normal mag round. I think that's where this can for me is the cat's meow. If I was going to buy one can to kind of do everything well, this would be it.
Yeah.
So, and shave weight.
Yeah.
Now, in a roundabout way, before you get to the Inconel thing, because I think that's where your brain was going, if you're not buying a can to suppress a belt fed, he's like, your only option for Helios is this. And he's like, if I didn't need that can for suppressing a belt fed, he's like, I'd almost uninvent that can and go with this.
Damn.
He said it in a roundabout way like that.
Yeah.
He's like, because the pros of this can far outweigh that.
Yeah, because the argument would be with the Inconel can of just like, it is that end of the world, like it's just gonna survive and keep going. Also sounds great. but it's like that would be the argument. I defer to him. I mean, he's, you know, obviously he's got engineers and stuff that are part of the process, but, you know, it's like the CGS crew, obviously, hey, if they're saying, I'd take titanium if I were you, okay, cool. I mean, I would take that seriously. They're the ones making it. They should know.
Yeah. And Bobby doesn't mince words. He was like, I don't understand why anyone would buy that fucking Inconel one unless they're suppressing a bell bed. I'm like, okay, cool. I still really dig that Inconel can.
As do I.
I think just the story behind it, the material and everything is cool, but we're not talking about that. Yeah. So to wrap up my final thoughts on this, again, I kind of already said it in so many words. If you wanted to buy one can to do everything well, this would be it in my book. Weight, decibel reduction, aesthetically, I think the cans look so cool.
Yeah.
The finish on it, the PVD coating they put on it, it's just a really cool, clean looking can. And pick it up.
Oh yeah,
almost everyone's like, whoa, whenever they pick up that can.
And that's with, like, I'm a fan of dead air chemo, but it's like, it's a heavy system. So like this is with that QD collar and the QD system on it. So it's like, man, if you strip that down to just the configuration that I would have here, that's lightweight. It's light. You know?
Which I may kind of play around with that here in the future. For this, running it on multiple guns, again, the QD was kind of the best option for that.
Yeah.
So, different strokes for different folks. And different tools for different jobs, right?
Yeah, and different dogs for different people's tastes in dogs. This one insists on being as close to the action as humanly possible. And just so you guys understand, we still do not know whose dog this is.
He just shows up.
Every single time we film, regardless of the location, I think he tracks our scent or something.
We could be 2 hours north of Salt Lake or an hour south like we are now, and he's there. It's weird.
Yeah, it's kind of staggering, actually. But, he, you know, whatever. Nah, fuck, what do I know, you know? Just random dogs.
Right? Other than that, Jake, that's all I have for this. Again, this is kind of a little bit of a different review, and we're going to get into, you know, we got some shooting footage of that compared to this. It's not a great comparison because that's direct thread chemo, and that's a piston, this is a DI. But you guys will be able to see some kind of cadence drills, and you've already seen them at this point in the video, of how the cans sound. So that's it. That's all I got for you. Cool. And funny enough, my last little thing, Pew Science yesterday released a review on that can with all the specs on a Mark 18.
Oh, cool.
And so you can get on his website. That is one of the few websites that I subscribe to, because his data is so good, man.
Yeah.
So I just know Bobby was like, hey, you know, it's funny you're filming this video. He's releasing data on that can at the same time.
Yeah, so if you need the real science, go there.
Yep.
If you want to listen to idiots, thanks
Science.
Thanks for sticking around. Appreciate it.
And I think that's it.
Rock and roll.
You good?
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, guys.